Hello and welcome to round 1, season 2 of the Rookie Cup. We are now live at the start of qualifying, and we've been joined in the commentary box by our L Chief in Matt Williams.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And we've also got special guest. We've got Brenton Foley.
Good afternoon.
As you can see, all very, very enthused around this tough. It is a tough little track, actually. This one. There's a couple tricky corners drivers are going to have to watch out for. Obviously, after sector 2, just after sector 2 ends, we've got a double right-hander that David Keane, I believe. Oh, no, he's about to start his lap. But we'll cycle through.
Well, I got Topher, Brendan Ross, David Keane, and Mike Colston, I believe, have all started their first laps.
Yep. Okay, so we'll jump off to Topher to start us off here. As Topher approaches the, I'm going to call it the ski jump chicane, this one. If you do miss the apex of the second part, that's going to be a track cut for sure there. Although his time is still going, so that's a bit of a surprise. But yeah, if you do get it wrong there and go off the gravel trap, you can get a bit of air time. So we could see some style points for crashes for this round, I think. As Topher comes through what I would call the trickiest part of the circuit. Obviously, this double left-hander here, it is so easy to lose the back end and put it into the barriers on the right, but he got it right this time. Coming into the penultimate turn, tucked it in nicely. Now, can he get? What's his final turn going to be like? Can get on the power too early, understeer off, but he's got it right this time.
New experience for these guys and the rookies as well, driving the minis, the front-wheel drives.
They're a tough little, the tough little car. Obviously, Topher's time wasn't counted there, so we'll have a look at Brendan Ross, who crosses the line.
We ran the minis a few months ago in a race at Imola that me and Willip ran just for fun, and they were a lot of fun to drive around there, but certainly do provide a different challenge.
Oh, it's David Keane. Oh, he's almost rolled it, going through the first chicane there. Yeah, they're not all that powerful. Obviously front-wheel drives, and they're a bit cumbersome to drive, so you've got to drive them very, very smoothly to get the most out of them. So those.
Yeah, with the lack of power as well, you try and make up all your time through the corners, and you just wind up going in way too hard early on until you get used to the car, and it's very easy to go flying off into a wall.
Yep, as we've seen. Always.
Gary Neville goes top with the first time of the session of 126.5.
Yeah, there it is.
He was having a few good laps through practice as well. He looked like him and Big Dog were both very quick in the first. Sorry, he and Big Dog.
The Big Dog.
Big Dog.
This Big Dog is P2.
They were both very quick through the first two sectors of the track, but then were losing their time in the third sector, where it does look to get a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, that is where that tricky double left-hander is, and it is difficult to get right, as Brendan Ross goes P1 with a 25.7. That's going to be a difficult time to beat, as I believe only Topher got anywhere near that time in practice.
Yeah, Topher's practice time was a 25.5. So we're not quite up to the times we saw in practice yet, but they will surely come in the next couple of minutes.
Obviously, he's just warming into things a little bit. It's very wide through the ski jump, so that'll certainly be a track cut, and he's pulled it back to the pits. We've now got Gary Neville, who's moved up to third place. He had a bit of interrupted running, but in practice, but solid time there at 26.5.
Top three all with some very good laps, going by what we did see in practice. Obviously we had Reese Gardner, who tried to cheat the system and get in, but our admin's very quickly giving him the boot.
Brendan Ross is currently bettering his time. He's in the third sector.
Yes, he set the fastest middle sector. If he can just get these last few corners right, this looks like it will be a very good lap from Brendan Ross. My former hero.
Well, he might be a hero this season, I think.
Oh, there was too much heartbreak. 25.3, that's 2/10 quicker than any of these guys managed in practice.
That is very, very quick. Obviously, that's...
It's 4/10 off his previous lap, so it's quite an improvement there, and still plenty of time to improve on that again. As he goes back to the pits, just to annoy me.
So who are you going to announce as your new hero for the coming season? Are you going to go back to Ross, or is there just too much heartbreak?
There's too much heartbreak there. I can't do that to myself anymore. He's listening to me. I see him on the chat in the game. I may just quickly tell him off for using the chat during qualifying.
In fact, we might just slap him with a 255 kilogram penalty just for breaking protocol there.
But it's hard to go past Big Dog with the rate of improvement that he has had since starting racing with us. Foley, I'd like you to do your first ever Big Dog in commentary.
Big Dog!
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Still plenty of...
Notice we've got quite a few people getting track cuts, which could be an issue during the race.
It certainly will be. Obviously, it's easy to get one on the exit of the first chicane, and obviously the ski jump. And even on the exit of that double left-hander, you can pick one up from running just a little bit wide, even with tyres still on circuit. So it's going to be up to these drivers to sort of rein their enthusiasm in a little bit and just watch themselves so they don't give themselves a penalty during the race.
And if they do go off, they just need to lift off a little bit and bring their time down just a smidgen. And they shouldn't get the cut, so...
The problem is with some of those corners, though, is that you're already going too fast. Like the first chicane, for example, you could just mess that up, and you're just going too quickly. You can't slow it down. So it's more about you just have to nail the corner, and you won't get it. Otherwise, if you come in too hot, you're never going to recover. See, Topher not on a particularly hot lap at the moment.
Gary Neville's just set his personal best sector one time. He's done a 18.4 through the first sector. None of these guys are able to get anywhere near Ross at the moment. Topher in P2 is over 1 second behind.
I don't think we'll see Ross's time beaten unless it's by himself at this point. Obviously, Topher he did get into the 25s in practice, but he's gonna have to pull something out of the hat to sort of come close to Ross's time, I believe. See Gary Neville just up on his time at the moment in P3. But
going off the practice laps, Topher does still have another 8/10 in his pocket that he just hasn't been able to get out in this session so far.
We have seen, obviously I've done it myself in a few series, and I know a few others, they'll set a quick time in practice just before qualifying, but just can't quite replicate it. Sometimes you try a little bit too hard trying to find that extra 10th in qualifying, and you just can't quite get the same time. The level does improve, but not enough, and Topher goes back to the pits. Ross about to start a lap, and Coulston on currently.
It's just coming to the end of the session now, so looks like the guys who've just started a lap will be the last to get one in. Maybe Mike Coulston should be able to get one more in.
Yeah, still 9 seconds left. He will get one in as he sets his first time and moves in front of Romosh. So with 4 seconds left, Coulston will be the last one to set a time. As you see, oh, it was a big accident at the final turn there.
Looks like Big Dog involved in that one. He was off track on my screen. I didn't actually see the crash though.
Did see a wing flying about there.
Glenn Miles has been unable to set a time in this session so far. He's done 7 laps of the track but hasn't been able to set a time, and I'm not sure he's actually currently on track.
I don't believe he is. As we watch David Keane through the final sector.
Gary Neville's improving on himself again, possibly. coming up to the second last corner.
Jump back to him once David Keane crosses the start-finish line. Keane improves by 3/10, but he still finds himself 6/10 behind Gary Neville.
Gary Neville only just over a tenth behind Topher as well, so if he can improve here, that would be likely to move him up.
But he can't quite do it. Keane's off, Coulston's off, so that is the qualifying session.
Got Brendan Ross just coming around the last corner.
He's practicing his pit entry by the looks of it. Obviously, there is compulsory pit stops tonight, so you don't want to mess your pit entry up, as we've seen in the touring car series, where even though there's no compulsory pit stop, the pit lanes are pretty tricky on some of these stock Brazilian circuits, as we've seen.
Yeah, I got called out there. I think it was at Goiânia. I can't pronounce it.
Goiânia.
And yeah, I got myself a drive-through penalty for speeding there because the speed limit started pretty much the moment you got into the pit entry, which is quite easy to catch yourself out with, as it turns out.
Well, just before we pause the stream, and there's obviously a brief driver's briefing, we'll go through the order of qualifying. Obviously, we've got Brendan Ross on pole position. In P2, we've got Topher, Gary Neville P3, David Keane P4, the Big Dog in P5,
Big Dog!
Mike Coulston P6, Brian Walsh P7, and unable to set a lap time, Glenn Miles. So we'll be back shortly following a driver's briefing, and we'll be back for race 1 of the season 2 of the Automobilista Australia Rookie Cup.